Hello, I'm talking about the revival of Negerhollands, which means Negro Dutch, and it's the former Dutch Creole language of St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix, which used to be the Danish Virgin Islands and now are the US Virgin Islands. Negerhollands is very well documented. It was a written language in the 18th and 19th centuries, and it was taught in reading even to the slaves, and in a time where even in Europe not all people were able to read. So it was an early language of education there, but this role was later taken by English. We have participants from many different countries. What we are still lacking is natives to those islands, or at least to the Antilles. We would badly need such because of local culture and pronunciation and to find out which words are missing and would be badly needed in restoring the language. We have a lot of text, as I said, but it's always you need more words if you want to revive a language. And most of the texts were from the 18th and 19th century. There are a few from the 20th century, but it's not enough. And I use the 18th century orthography, but we are trying to modernize this a bit. We don't know the pronunciation so well, have to find out more. But there are recordings from the 20th century and even an Anansi story with Anansi and Tecoma. Negerhollands is a very easy language, especially if you already speak some Dutch, then it's very easy. German helps a lot too. There is also a German influence on it. Many of the missionaries and locals were German. And they spoke also dialects which were naturally close to it because they spoke Low German, and the Dutch, they spoke Zeelandic Dutch, and there are some parallels. So they mixed easily. It would be very helpful to have members or participants which are from the Caribbean and also speak some Dutch, or members from the Antilles, and even if you're not from the US Virgin Islands, but well, from some close island like the British Antilles, the British Virgin Islands, then you could likely have ancestors who also spoke Negerhollands. It was locally just called Creole or Creole Tal, which means Creole language, but this is a bit ambiguous. That's if the same if you as you call your language dialect or Creole or patois. So it works, but it doesn't make the distinction to other languages very clear. That's why we still stick to the Dutch name. I mainly use the grammar written by Joachim Melchior Mergens from the same family after which the famous Mergens Bay was named later. But there is also an old dictionary by Mr. Oldendorp, but it is written in German, so it is German and Negerhollands. There is also a modern dictionary which has English as the other language, but I don't have it. I don't even know where to buy it, but well, so far I didn't need it. We will make we start to make a wiki with our own dictionary, and we have a Discord group, and everybody interested, no matter from which country, is wholeheartedly invited. We are quite active. What we still need is regular conversations in the language. We can, well, many of us can say a few sentences. I speak it quite well, but everybody's still a bit shy on using it. But we have word lists. We started with word of the day, but I only enter words from time to time now, but it is a lot, and we have some phrases or whole sentences. It's quite a lot to start with, and we have activity almost every day, and we are happy to answer questions on the language and the revival. I know English is very useful, but for cultural identity and for remembering history, we need many more languages. And this is a very local language. I mean, it was not spoken in many countries, but just on those 3 islands. 3. So it could also be used to strengthen the identity. I don't know if this is needed. I have never been to the Caribbean, but it looks as there is a lot of culture already, but maybe a few people will still like it. I am mainly doing this because I like languages, and Negerhollands is a language which is similar to German, which I speak, and so it feels closer to me than English. There are also some parallels with Afrikaans, and the two are about the same age, but Afrikaans, well, it's said that it used to be Cape Dutch until about somewhere between the mid and the end of the 19th century, or 18th century, and before it was more Dutch dialect, but I mean, this depends a bit on opinion. Negerhollands is probably about, well, probably started at about, well, 1700, and it's not sure if it used to be a Creole from the start, or it it slowly developed into a Creole, because the first texts, which were slave letters, had a stronger Dutch influence. They were closer to Dutch, and we don't know if they just tried to write something that is close to Dutch, or if they really spoke like this. For Afrikaans, there was also, well, learners Cape Dutch, because it was in Africa. Many people who were not native speakers were using it, and it Afrikaans developed as from mixed influence from the local dialect and learner's language, and maybe also some Creole alongside with it, and we have similar opportunities for possibilities for Negerhollands, but it is not so well known. The language of the Dutch settlers themselves is not documented as far as I know. Later they also spoke Negerhollands, but I don't know if they did this always, or just in situations where they were speaking with people who didn't know their Dutch. I don't know if there is research on this. I should know, because I read a lot on Negerhollands, but have never seen this. But maybe there is some documentation. A bit of a problem is that the official language was Danish, so we will more likely find Danish texts. Maybe we have quotes or some, from Kurt acts. I'm not sure. In English, don't know. I'm also translating Magen's grammar to German, and we are planning on an English and on a Hungarian version, and one in Esperanto. The the best apart from the German and the original Danish one so far is the one in Esperanto, but we don't have that much yet. We are closely connected to the auxiliary language movement. Auxiliary languages are artificial languages for international communication. Yes. I think this should be enough for now. I hope everyone can hear me well, because this microphone doesn't record very loud and I have to speak up, and it's a bit hard. And I'm putting a link to the Discord group in the description, and just try it if you like. Alright. Goodbye then.